Aral Sea can not only be saved but returned back to its original size thanks to two projects focused on constructing new channels for Yesil and Irtysh rivers, with first stage of completion expected by 2026. That was said by an ambassador of the International Caspian-Aral Basin Ecosystem Revival and Flood Mitigation, Jan Kavan, in an interview to the New Time. According to the President of the UN General Assembly's 57th session, these projects aim not only to save the ecosystem but also have the potential to generate up to 3,500 jobs and alleviate poverty in the Aral area. What is going to be done for the preservation of Caspian-Aral Basin on international level? Is Caspian Sea going to follow the same fate as the Aral? Please watch the fragment of Balzhan Samigulina's interview.
Recently have become an ambassador of the International Fund for the Restoration of Ecosystem of Caspian-Aral Basin. In this regard, what plans and goals have you set for yourself for this role?
I understand that basically we will concentrate on two projects, starting with the slightly easier one, and that's the building a channel of up to 70 kilometers long to master the floodwaters of the Yesil River. As a follow-up, there will be a second project, and that's to divert the waters of the Irtysh River down to the south, which in my opinion is a mega and a very ambitious and of course costly project. And I do believe that these projects will at least reduce the level of poverty and create up to 350,000 jobs, allow people to return to the area, that you could restore the level of fish farming. So my role here to conclude this is to lobby for the project, facilitate communication with other governments, international organizations, particularly given my own experience, United Nations.
Let me ask when these projects are going to start, or they are already ongoing?
They are being planned, and I think in fairly greater detail. The idea is to see, in my opinion, to see first results at least during the next 3 years. And I hope to map it out, the first stages, up to the 2026 climatic summit.
Yes, Aral Sea has decreased more than 90%. Can we say that in the near future this sea will disappear from the world map, or there is still chance to make it back, and if yes, what should we do for that as a country and maybe as the whole world?
I do believe that now that the dangers are obvious, and that the awareness of it is great, and that the international fund was set up, and that you now have people and experts ready to rectify the mistake. If we find sufficient funding and international support, I do believe that the Aral Sea can be saved, and not even saved, but returned back to its original.
Let us speak about the Caspian Sea. It also has some risks. The water level has also been increasing for last few years. Yeah. Can we expect that Caspian Sea will follow the same scenario as Aral Sea?
I do believe that people and humankind is capable of learning from their own mistakes, and therefore, once it became clear what happened to the Aral Sea, people will be much more aware of the dangers facing Caspian Sea, which has been, as you said, decreasing the water level for about 10 years. I do believe that Caspian Sea will not face the same fate as the Aral Sea.
Let me conclude our interview and ask the last question. Water is, one might say, is a new gold nowadays. And how do you think Kazakhstan use its water resources nowadays, in your opinion?
At least on the materials I've studied up to now, one has to unfortunately conclude that there is insufficient management of water resources. Human efforts, government efforts, efforts of the respective agencies can try to mitigate this impact and try to reverse it. And that up to now has been done in, I would put it mildly, not in optimal manner. Tons and tons of water are being lost, and given the importance of water, which is present day gold, this is something which I don't think should be tolerated for any longer. And Kazakhstan here suffers from it most. So I think it's on the Kazakhstan authorities, both state but also private, such as the International Fund I will be working for, to try to rectify that.